For over 3 decades, versions of the Russian-designed AK-47 have been used by terrorists in Jammu and Kashmir. This is the most produced assault rifle on the planet. Over 70 million have been produced since 1949. But of late, US-made M4 assault rifles have begun appearing in the hands of Pakistani terrorists in Kashmir. So how and why are US-made M4s being used by terrorists in Jammu and Kashmir? News9 Plus Decodes. Pakistan-sponsored terrorist groups in Jammu and Kashmir have used AK-47 variants since the beginning of terrorism in Jammu and Kashmir in the late 1980s. The AK-47 is rugged, compact, has a high rate of fire and is devastating in close-quarter combat. But now evidence is emerging that terrorists in Jammu and Kashmir have turned to US-made M4 carbines. How did the terrorists get their hands on the M4s? The Soviet Union invaded and occupied Afghanistan between 1979 and 1989. The US armed Afghan rebels with millions of AK-47s to fight the Russians. When the Russians left, Pakistan began arming terrorists in Kashmir with the weapons left behind by the Soviets. Now cut to 2021. When US-led NATO forces withdrew from Afghanistan in August 2021 after a 2-decade-long insurgency, they left behind weapons and equipment worth over $7 billion. Among these were aircraft, armored vehicles, air-to-ground munitions, and night vision devices. These weapons and equipment were given to the Afghan National Army, which was overrun by the Taliban when the US forces withdrew. More than 300,000 of some 427,000 weapons that the US gave Afghan forces were still in Afghanistan when the US withdrew. The Pentagon told the US Congress in April 2022. Among the small arms were the M4 and the M16 assault rifle. Tens of thousands of them. Let's not forget that the US also left behind thousands of night vision devices and thermal imagers in Afghanistan as well. What kind of a weapon is the M4? The M4 is a carbine, or a short-barreled rifle, which entered US military service in 1997. It's a compact version of the M16 assault rifle, introduced into the US military in the jungles of Vietnam in 1969. Both the M16 and the M4 are in current US military service. Most of these weapons were sold by the Taliban to terrorists operating in Pakistan. Since 2022, M4s and M16s have begun appearing in the hands of Pakistani terrorists from the Jaish-e-Mohammed and the Lashkar-e-Toiba. The M4 is a sophisticated weapon. It is a flat-top receiver with a Picatinny rail which allows for night vision devices and thermal imagers to be fitted onto them. Then there's the bullet. The M4 fires a 5.45 into 45 mm bullet. It is lighter than the 7.62 into 39 mm AK-47 round. Because this round is smaller and lighter, it travels further. The AK round has an effective range of some 300 meters. The M4 bullet, in turn, has a maximum range which is almost twice as much as the AK-47 at around 600 meters. It thus allows terrorists to engage security forces at extended range with accurate and lethal fire. Is there evidence of M4s being used by terrorists? Yes. Indian security forces have recovered several M4s from terrorists in Jammu and Kashmir. M4 shell casings were found on the road near where terrorists ambushed a civilian bus in Riyasi.